So Rebecca Fredrichs is a teacher in Southern California, and she disagreed with a position that California Teachers Association, their state council, which is a democratically elected body. And so this democratically elected body took a position on a ballot proposition which dealt with same-sex marriage. The state council decided to support the no campaign, which would effectively allow gay marriage. And Rebecca Fredrichs felt that she didn't support that same position, so that her dues shouldn't go towards that political activity. The lawyers representing Rebecca Fredrichs have been before the Supreme Court before, 2 times to try to throw out the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. She lost at the state level at the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals, and then it went to the Supreme Court very quickly, probably about 18 months. It's just it's an attack on unions. It's trying to weaken unions' positions. It's not about freedom of speech. And when you actually look at her case, her premise is that unions, because everything they do is political in nature, that they're violating her freedom of speech rights, which, in my view, a union is a democracy. And so in a democracy, you're never going to get 100% of people's viewpoints. And then the other part of the argument that she's making to the Supreme Court is that the opt-out clause violates her First Amendment right as well. So she wants to change it from opt-out to opt-in, which would just create on a local level and a state level, it's just going to create a paperwork mess for us. The goal is to weaken unions. It's to weaken unions' political clout, to weaken unions by making their systems more difficult to navigate. I mean, this essentially would create a free rider class within our ranks, where we would have members that they're not obligated to pay union dues, but we would still have a duty of fair representation of them. This is going to have an effect on there's 22 other states. So the 22 other states, if they rule, because it's the Supreme Court, if they rule that our collecting of agency fee is unconstitutional, it's not going to be California, it's going to be all of us. This has been going on for years, to demonize unions, to say that the unions are the problem, this is their fault. So it's that old saying, first they came for this group of people, but I wasn't part of that group. Well, right now they're coming for public employees. Next, it's going to be whoever's sitting out there, whoever's the next big chip to fall. So this is where unions need to collectively come together. And really, this is, talk about activist judges. We're putting our societal, what we've decided as a society, that this is the way that we are going to run, that workers have the right to bargain collectively. And we're saying, we're putting that into question, and we're putting that on the backs of 9 individuals, of which I don't know how many of them have actually been union members.